Today, the 8th day of December 2020. We want to lay on a table the annual education week, where the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary School say now from the 7th to the 11th of December 2020. Then get the theme where they say education transformation through evidence-based policy and innovation. Well, that's then say. But you know, say Sarah Network, we want for echo the voice of the people and the cry of the people. So we be going on street, talk to school picking them, talk to parents them, waiting them think about this low grades where we they see one look common right now. Make you can listen, waiting the school picking them say and the parents them. But first, let me give the status update for COVID-19 for today na salon. 0 new case. 0 new case. Today, the Nakovac be in airport, so I think them be so busy that we been here for chase them for make them give even this one copy. Now 3 different copies then they can give we get different information. But for today, first of all, them be say first then in airport. Them busy. But anyway, tomorrow we will see how side then go appear and how then go on for deal with things. But we not get the breakdown like how we can always get. We'll go tell you how much the labs and analyze waiting come and waiting not come. So waiting we get and with the lay so today. We get 0 new cases. The cumulative confirmed positive case still stand at 2,428 because of waiting. Now 0 new case. We get 0 death for the inside the past 24 hours. So we still stand at 74. The active cases then at isolation center now 507. For the past 24 hours, 1 person recover from COVID-19. So then they don't carry the cumulative recoveries to 1,847. The one that were in quarantine right now na 84. The one that were on discharge from quarantine na 12,211. We'll be able for stream a little one today. We'll be join Nakovac, where they say them be they do screening process for the big number of the aspirants they now. You know, say holiday time don't reach. So people when they come down at the country. We just hope say, you know, we don't do the program here yesterday. When at the diaspora where they go, make we be careful. We want as we go wholly and fully, and so we for return back. I know say yesterday we get a lot of information about certain things the way the law which is say, but how then they implement and they na different thing. They alone not make news. Yeah? And that's it. Just we don't again I say and network. But one thing we're happy for, somebody information is key, you know, information is power. I see somebody respond to other person. Now share a network page actually. Somebody asks about an information we be deal with yesterday. And I hear the person they try to explain to the person say, oh, on the spot fine means say now then they give you the ticket but no mean say now they for pay. And I'm like, okay, with the land. Really the land. That is good. But hey, let's just do a thing for do for keep ourselves safe and with families them or they meet stay. If we self go with the idea for say we go popularize say we need for adhere to all COVID-19 regulations, then I think it go work. Small self it go work. Make we come to today on program. Today, we want to look inside the annual education week. It starts from the 7th to the 11th. Whether you from a parent, whether you from the school picking them. What I say, I only share a network you go get it so. Eh? Even though we hear about innovation and all those things, but we go out there in the streets, make we talk to the one them. Since we celebrate the annual education week, we then say na education transformation through evidence-based policy and innovation. With waiting you hear from the school picking them and the parents them. Waiting you get out of this. Make a call with us friend, make we waiting you get for we. Yes, us friend, you get a platform, sir.
Yeah, hello, Triple A. Thank you very much for giving me the platform. The issue with Salone regarding this annual education week, it is quite a good initiation as in bring them up in principle. All right. The question now will be asked in practice, within how far things are don't go. If we look at specifically in terms of the results, they will come out bad because they can bring up all this. Would they look directly now? We say the one we concern one of the spearhead of and one of the minister, one of David Moyna Senge. In the first place, I go just want to look at from one the parents them then get one issue on this, the teachers then get the issue, the student then get their own issue, the government get your issue, and then the environment get your issue. Then the one then way not the main one we come down to finally now the government, what people then will say, oh well they will blame the government. But you go look them from a variation, different way, different angle then, different dimension. If first of all we just try to look in the very man where they spearhead this all this year. So looking at waiting a young profile, we know say na man he get a PhD, na man he educates, na man he get knowledge, he gets a lot of initiative. But waiting actually lead and force to this position, yeah. I feel say na scholarship got being helped by get now you go to Norway through Red Cross. You go learn, you get 2 year scholarship. And to be candid, he actually play a great part in terms of science because he been get for help quite a lot in terms of vaccine trials during that time day. All right, you go see say this man has done very well in terms of in profiling achievements. So he can as alone 2018. Well, if you don't can say before or not, I know we'll go into detail, but he can evolve in the government. So the government therefore give this area what they say in charge of DSTI, this Directorate of Science, Technology and Innovation. All right, that then began. It began for work on that one day in a strategy say is try for bring waiting at the problem them. Like waiting and they say evidence-based. Okay, I see some evidence-based in that aspect. Where in them they try for say, well now how we able for no parents come or possibly common America or possibly common Europe or possibly common Makeni Kabbalah any side, what you want for put in Peking at school. What thing you go do, you go able for go to that porthole day and you go able for see who school they perform well, who school where sometimes not get good toilet if they worry for the toilet or who not get good water system. That now one part of it. Then the other part of it again, that if I don't help again, the government for don't get an evidence-based because they been send people in the school there for know all the areas them. So that when they go get the evidence-based, you the government, you don't go see the result, the outcome of this school here for saying you not get better bench, you not get better toilets, you not get better teacher, or you get this problem. So that is the work of the government now. Say we'll go do this work here. And then again, the parents will go look, say, yeah, now this year one for go, and this year one for go. So it come in two ways. But that evidence-based, 2019, they snatched that away from them. Then put them out directly for them in charge of the ministry itself. How comes? because somebody else who did they were supposed to do your own work, he left, he go begin do other thing, then we not concerned, but everybody get discredit him, then pull and they for sit down with, then later they put another sector. All right. So we get for look say that begin to defunct the education system because the person who don't hold the baton, he not being get for carry the baton to the next person in this marathon. Yeah, because to sprint then with the run. So he get for delay some progress and plans who he been get for initiate let the education develop. Ghana one defunct. Then you come out to the area wherein he don't begin to look at the education directly. What he get for do, and he get a science background, which is good. But he not be able to bring them for let it go speed up and continue this race, for let it go achieve in your area, where in your area now as a minister for provide opportunity for picking there and big people there, what they were able to acquire knowledge and skills, as well as how they were able to nurture them in a good attitude what they before don't get. That attitude and the values that we were able to put towards the economic growth, where the government they say they try to do a kind of a resource for human capital and development. So you get what he say the evidence based in the education now what in there for do. I don't know the areas there where they don't do the research or what type of evidence in terms of the technology or in terms of the weakness or waiting then get for can implement to put this. You go ask the question now, say, you get a lot of international development we don't come inside. And they end up for being technology where they don't lead. Now you lead the race with a technology. When you lead this race with a technology, you go ask now if this wire it look local needs, the local needs of the people then. Local needs of the people then you come now to the people and now one are the parents, you come to the teachers, you come to the students. So you go ask now, what in the teachers then get for doing that local base? You get their own area where some they be they would see now ghost teachers, and so they may work on other people their names. So you get for get side with them, then get for cut off, but woman then they not been teach because of all these problems. We say time again from predecessors, from negligence. So that therefore big another default. That is the second default of the education in progress. How for therefore revamp them? They therefore can begin to train teachers then. So schools they not get teachers then. That happened. You can actually parents them. You talk about them get the quality and free education. Yes, then begin to bring boss them, which is good. So you can out to areas and where the technology would be, when the globalization, almost social media, which was misused by students and parents. Where is some of the students they highlight and say, like, because students they know they study, and they bring about all these factors. So you therefore look at the fault of the students, the fault of the technology, how was it misused? And then you come to the teachers them. What the materials and backward in the teach, then they get the right materials, then they get a proper curriculum, or then they get a proper syllabus. So people then they talk about too much. And then you come about the textbooks, what some of them they use. Then you come to the system wherein they don't introduce, say, you get 6, 3, 3, 4. One people they say, let we do this, another people they say, well, let we reduce and we add and so. And then you can't let the books them, they not be ever change the textbooks. So the picking they will be the blank take 7 years in primary school, now 6 years. During this process, they're not be able to put books that will meet up the education level. Because if now 7 years the man for take, the 6 years where they take, you they can't feed them the 7th year. What you know mature, now you get for accumulate for go take exams. When they come on year 6 for go from 1 or year 1 and junior secondary school, you already get a small defunct material not there. So you get for look at all those material and in the books how then they use in class 7 in those days, then they use in class 6 because then they force them for use them because they not been changed the school textbooks, they not been changed some of the curriculum, they not been careful look at to local needs. So you get for come back again to the environment, we come back still to this globalization. The environment, you get for look about the economy, you get for look about the climate, would they affect people. Because you get for see people who been displaced, mudslide, all those kind of things. See what we don't pass away for years, we not go counter again. But you get for look at all those kind of things. But when then they say now evidence based, these are the kind of things what we expect see that if we don't they look, Whose type of textbook would they use? Whose type of material content when they use? Or the teachers then get other areas where they go teach, where they split them in for teach one side and then they teach under. So that by the time the syllabus go come meet up the money exams, it not go meet up again. Those are all factors. Then when they look at that, how to arrange them. But if they arrange it, will they ask the question? And then you go look now areas where you go talk to now. You they go plant seeds. You don't bring this free education. You don't bring other things where you can try for bring schools them. But you ask the questions like now where they go plant seed in a garden. If you go plant the seed, you not cover, you not get things that they drive away the pests or board them. We know they get bored when they do when board them for drive them. You don't plant the seed, you don't cover it, you don't protect them. What did they happen? That seed then they eat them, then go. So when can the next day the seed not grow? Also until the other side, you're able to protect them, but until you not plant the seed, the type of seed, not the right soil. So you go one day you go plant at the right soil, now a limited ones. So you go see say those limited ones are those private schools. Because the private school, then they get more money, then they cover some of the students than the needs. So then they pay them more, then they satisfy them. So they're able to do very well in terms of this education. So you come to the fault of the students, you go come because of one, the environment not being there, where they try to put them in the right track. So you will get for come, you go begin blame them, say you do this. You go blame them on one side, but in the original sector, like what some of you been study on those days, just like one of the speaker of the house, I think that the only side that one they were assisting, they do well in that parliament that day, where the opposition leader they talk about that 634. They get for himself inside say, well, when I keep quiet, nothing important this man they talk to. Because that's the only area what they know saying that the problem is. But waiting them go do, I don't know if they go question that one day for say that we restructure them. They restructure them now back where it will become very late because then they try for bring back work what the student they make. The only thing when are evidence based, these are the little things where I believe students get for try and look into, then get for look inside, they will get a vocation and then they get an avocation. Where in that 6334, it go able for implement. See where post you not get in brain for let go do class from 4 una SS1. Let them try for fence side, let go learn skill. Then begin to bring those things, but they are in smaller scales. They are doing well, then they try for promote educational students at the higher education now for universities, but let them come to those small things we need for let them be able for figure out and able for join the students then, so that the student then will become motivated, then will see the need of education, and education now for self-reliance. Whether it become formal education, informal education, adult education, is informal because the adult education it introduce Atina Moyamba, it don't go introduce the small scale of where the people that who don't grow, then go they learn. But you get for this the man now like octopus system in the work on. He get for talk say, I get for include other people them. Would they hear the cry of others and say inclusiveness of the decision what itself they make, they know the what because now in one they take up certain things then. So he get for delegate duties to those who are responsible. Instead of they try to take up something wherein the load it go heavy for them. Or now let's look at the science. If you want, you go able to take up in science. Sierra Leone, like in now one of possible don't innovate things that were good. Other people that be don't they who then be don't work like that Timbo, another Timbo, not this past Timbo, then another Timbo in the US will be helpful do another innovation. See that then get people that will look very creative, especially in science. So that if you're not Friday, you go there. If not lecture, you don't lecture. Rather than it get for can create an environment wherein it will become so much toxic. By the time they go say, let we clean up the system, wherein a help they come, but the help they come in a way where it fall on environments that were not successful. So that the 5 years not go waste. Because look now we just finish this side where it been get that innovation, that directorate. Then we don't introduce people like they take I think one lady in a FBC for let them go do a logo, then therefore introduce the website where in all this information they go. Then go school to school. That one they all useful. But you go look what in that one they don't get impact and this particular 2 to 3 years where they don't go. Money don't go and no go say you don't waste. It is just be reserved. Why all those things are not being used for something else, so that the individual student then will feel the impact. But again, the student then, as they say, then again for try for the begin, they stand up again. Then get for no say Google daily for let them go chat. The kind of man they say, but then they use the Google, let them for go cut and paste, let them go use them for find out information, where then go bring them, then discuss among themselves, then go ask teacher, then will be able to help them. Some of the things are useful, but if you use it in the right way, that's the only thing. So let God continue for open people and brain, the leaders and more, let them go able to function in the area in terms of how they have to function, because education ain't go able to help us alone like go before. Because when people in here open and educate, then they go able for develop, just like how the other countries and they do and progress. And thank you very much for giving the platform. And God bless you, sir. Thank you, sir.
God bless you too. Thank you very much, Usman.
Yeah, you're welcome, sir.
Yes, sir. Now come with Doctor. Make we hear you. Waiting in get for it today. Yes, Dr. Isatuka Kejalo, you get the platform. Welcome on board.
Hi, good evening, everyone. And I hope everybody to do well. Thank you to Fred for your submission. And also in terms of the topic for today, we therefore deal with, education. As we know, education is very vital in our society, vital in everything we do. But in doing so, we want to make sure we do in a way where it will be beneficial to school them as well as society as a whole. I listened to some of the comments them with students then get, within then think say now the cause for student they not to do well, as well as some parents them we get their own take. I believe say whatever system then try for put in place, then one for ensure say the system we then put in place it will be useful to the student because sometimes as you set up a curriculum, you want to make sure that the curriculum really match every society as well as match within the student they try to accomplish. So for set digital technology in the country, way them being first launched, the DSTI, and then was the recent one last year, now a good one. Well, as then do that, then therefore also make sure say that then provide the resources them for student them now the school setting, and when it comes to some of the comments or the take on whether na social media or na the phone or na the laptop now it don't cause for make student and all learn, or maybe before people then be they go to a library for study books. We living in a age now that we call the digital age, where we say the same as the information age. Now something we come about in the 1970s really for try for help people them for let them go able for transfer information freely and quickly. And in doing so, now for make sure so you will do your work, do effectively, you not go for be scrambling around, you can still get the same information online. But how you can do that, yes, Google is there. Google get different platforms. I'll say this, you get the scholarly Google, meaning if you want school material, you want data, something where now research, where be saying a peer reviewed articles, where you go use for your education, it they not to just that, say you want to find out, what is the best, show out there, or what is the best hair product, something like that. That's there for the layman, for let you use, for make it quickly get access to information them we not need for worry about. And sometimes even people them we need for use a dictionary, or they try for use a specific word, can just type in the word and now see different terms or verbs them or adjectives them what then will use in then for the grammar, then can use that. There are benefits to Google, even though people then can misuse them sometimes for things that will not make sense. So if for student them really they should be using the scholarly Google, where we say then we'll get like peer reviewed articles, we will help them. And also the other technology platforms them where they out there, where we get our electronic books, where they get you textbooks textbooks them. Now, even when you buy textbook, for many people that went to college, understand, say, if you buy the version of the textbook, it's a lot cheaper than you buying the hard copy and other forms. So there's benefit to Google, and I don't think we should definitely see it in a negative way. It's just that maybe there has to be education about, say, if you need for do a schoolwork, if you need for do something we get for be scholarly, go where they use Google. If you really use the scholarly platform or the articles and where they say, you just have to search that, and then you will see all the things and where you look for, we have to do with school, and where you be say now evidence based, as we talk about evidence based, where Usfred don't talk about, evidence based in different sectors, really have to do with, for ensure, say, the best available evidence that is out there, where you talk about it in a scientific format. And also it has to deal with the clinicians or the person, whether not the clinician now or not the teacher or not the person where they within the sector where you look for the evidence. Then you expertise, so the clinician's expertise or the teacher and your expertise have to be part of that evidence base, as well as the way if you deal with patient, then you say the patient's own values and then preferences. So that same will go now to say, the students' values and preferences in how they want for learn. You get different ways than how people in the learn. You get people that way they learn by visual, where you get people that way they learn by tactile, where they learn by just observing or reading. So we have all these different ways of learning. So then get for really find out, which are the best approach out there. And I think now that come with that 6334 educational system for say, some people them actually let for do practical stuff them, and in that way they can learn something just the same as that person will believe in just the theory. Doing the practical, it definitely can complement the same as way they take an exam, because talking about healthcare for us, for example, you not only do theory, you do practical. For ensure, say, what you don't read in a textbook, you can really apply them in the clinical setting. So same goes for students them with in a school, then forget then lab them, then forget if then focus on science, then forget chemistry lab, then forget biology lab, then forget engineering labs. All these different things have to be available for let the student really be able for do their work in how they go do them. You not go just expect somebody for they take a science course, or chemistry course, where in order at the chemistry lab for test some chemicals then for see, how they go to make acetaminophen, right? Which two compounds that you get for combined together for let you really produce that product. Now me undergrad, those are some of the things I've been doing at school. So really it complements what I did read in the textbook, but there has to be that practical aspect to everything we do in a textbook. And then the digital format, really, we'll get at the country, really, the current education minister will be the head that before really get for use that in your expertise and bring her into the basic and senior secondary school sector for see how it can combine that for students them for let them go do well in our school. But then at the same time, we want for sure say we get like libraries then within the communities, because not to every student go able to afford a laptop. Where be say it go use the laptop now host and doing assignments and submit some of the assignment that even before the day before. So many students struggle with that, right? And then maybe they are just left with their phone, and sometimes they're on the phone, they're lacking internet data. How then go really search the database where you talk about PubMed, you talk about CINAHL, all these different database outlets where you say then get tons of information where you go use for do well in our school. And that you can use more the college student that they use more, but even high school, meaning secondary school for we can use that. But we have to be able to provide the resources, the things that we students that need for let them do well, and continue for they see and evaluate the faculty or the teachers them where they teach students them for see how well they can use their own expertise for make them go help the student then continue for do well. So I feel say, in as much as there are factors them we can prevent students them for do well, I feel say also we educational system and also we government need for put measures them in place in how then go able for make sure say this free quality education will get in a salon. We can really benefit from it. But as you pour money into it, you get to pour the money into the right places. And in doing so, students then will do well. And that's not all I get for tonight. And I hope say we students then use technology to their advantage for use and say, this is way better compared to those people back then that they have to read chapters upon chapters. Sometimes you even have to read the book maybe more than once just for let you understand exactly what's going on. But if you look at a specific topic where you talk about a digital book, you can just type in the keyword. It'll bring you to that section where you go try for read through that and then understand the topic and understand how you go apply them, the next time we're in a classroom setting. So there's benefit to the digital age, and I feel saying that the good thing for the young people them growing up, and we pick some from it. You can see the old time people them, they find it very difficult to transition, but everybody's adapting to this new age, right? Because that not the new way, not the new life, now and that we get for live with, for the rest of generations to come. So it's a new media age, so we need to be able to adapt to it and see how that's going to take us. But we hope for the best that students will really use it wisely and use it to their advantage towards education. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Doctor.
Thank you.
Yeah. So make we come with Tony Ture Jones. Make we hear waiting in get for we today. Yes, Tony, you get the platform, sir.
Yes, Abraham. Thank you for bringing me. One area we need go look for look at. I got several areas and where I go look for look out at. But the one key area we me if you say we education begin get serious challenges now class sizes. You understand? Class sizes now one major area because you remember say where we go school or where them they go school first step. The class sizes maximum not even reach 50. You understand? Max probably must maybe like then 30. You find out say there was continuous assessment. Teachers then they able for monitor class, give work in a class, go around and see say the last man don't copy down or the last man don't get they don't get the concept well before they go able for move on to another topic. You understand? And there was that continuous assessment like every like 2 weeks there is test, there is this. It helps for make the picking and the study. When we begin get during the war, when we begin get mass class, you find out say they introduce this afternoon shift. They come with one in class, they get over 100 picking them for even make you call teacher call rooster. You understand? For make you call register rather than now it's a big challenge. Now there we begin get a lot of things will begin go wrong. I go take for example, if you watch the reason why make the private schools they always they do better than the government school. One is class size. You understand? If I not say teachers and able for monitor. Recently, my daughter not do an assignment. The teacher therefore call him. In fact, the headmistress of the school because he did an examination class every weekend and they give an assessment and they give them like 500 questions for answer. Pass papers, MPSC papers that we don't pass. You understand? He miss when he not do one just because he get something for do that weekend. The principal, the headmistress self call in mama. Go to the school able for say again Sonia assignment, Sonia not doing assignment and this and that, So you get that monitoring mechanism where you understand teachers they able know the strength and weakness of every picking in a class. You understand? Now a missing, you understand? So if I not say we not go blame the government 100% because it takes logistics, it takes resources, it takes all them things needed. But they should have got a plan in place. You understand how you able to phase out those things by increasing, build more schools. Okay, if you notice that during the Pakaba era, even the APC era, they introduced Boku City Council places and where they able to turn their secondary school just for absorb and cushion those things. But they were not enough. This should have been a succession plan, a long-term plan. You understand? So when you get all those resources, you get all those logistics, if I act for make the teachers, because, There is no way me go get a smaller salary. I get a class size of 100 and able for mark all them things then because some of these teachers as well, some are part time. If they happen say if they do full time in them they are full time, but they have other assignments, they have other things. You understand? So they have to look at the successes, replicate what thing they make the private schools, then they do well. Why are they doing it? And try to see how they can able for bringing it in. Because one thing I tell you, when the class size small, you find out say you're able for develop a database. You're able to get a database of every picking in your class. If you get picking when not can 1, 2, 3 days, probably they can't. They left home, they can't school because they go with paddy and so on. The teacher go able for call first time they do them. I got one because you will be their book. When will you go school in the morning and sign? Nothing to do with the KPS, then they sign. When you're ready for can out, they go back to Mrs. Newstead. Mrs. Newstead go sign back before he can out. So there was that money stream. If I not say, not say he didn't school, but he know they. You understand? So all that thing that they build a database, they so plenty missing things and the way na income with them. But then again, the motivation of teachers is not mere salary. You understand? You they say make the teacher no cancel butterscotch. Let the teacher no can. I know they talk for them, say make them do them things then they. But because of their salary, me they come on time. Their salary is very small. You understand? So if in matter of sense, this private school they offer good salary, good pay. Some private school they even give teachers a bag of rice. Some they give them 25 kilos, some they give them 50 back. There are other fringe benefits you have to provide for teachers. You understand? If other people then where they authority they cry for higher pay, you understand? The trend has changed. Those times where people then they walk on God go bless you, where we know say teaching field, nursing field, na salon, God go bless you work. That trend they did not change because yes, they all need blessing, but these teachers as well, their family. Remember, they have families to take care of. They have kids that are going to school. They have to give school fees. They therefore provide basic things for their own family. So you get for match their labor, match what thing they contribute and what thing they get. Some teachers then they imagine saying you then have some sideway, some na the principal self they pay them. Their name pin code not they. So many things and where they were missing. So when you look at the whole thing, you understand, first time you get supervisors, you get school supervisors the way they can they come regularly in a school for then go kind of in at the back of the class, see how the teachers then they prepare the lesson notes. You understand? See the methodology which what then they deliver. If there's any problem, go call them a corner and those things are missing. As I say, when we go back to the basic, we go back to those things are missing because we know say yes. Social media, especially the use of phones, don't create a lot of distractions for we picking them up for we brothers and sisters. Yes, but if the school is very strict, because amidst all this technology, you still get that picking the way they do well. You still get picking the way they do exemplary well in exams. So which means if those ones then they able to deliver. I see no reason why the others not able to deliver. If only they can be on the same platform. Can't you inspire everything be equal? You understand? So those are the things they have to look at. They really therefore look at some things that they're libraries. First time we get libraries where you go start. Look at library board where they by Rokel Street yonder. If I not say they see they full up, even city council we get library. You understand? So if I not say some of the schools they're not even get libraries. They're not even there because not everybody go able for buy books. Not everybody go able for pay. Well, if the school then get library, you get library they open say even if school don't close by 5, but library they say 7 o'clock. Get a light. Picking go there after school and do assignments. Picking go able there some school and they photocopy at the library. If not for photocopy, you they pay money to the librarians the way they did, then left photocopy for you. So you get material of the same thing. When you go able for go study or do your assignments now. You understand? Look for instance. This internet service provider, I know one call in name, then go give free connectivity up Fabi College. You understand? You not go believe say when then check the traffic, which means the usage of people waiting and they use majority of them they Facebook, majority of them they na sites and we no important. When are they even this is Fabi College? When are they even add value to the education? They install this in the ISP for give them a leverage so they can able to do the assignments. You understand? Make it easy for them. Majority of them they Facebook. Majority of them they do something else. So when you look holistically, I mean, the educational system not that competitive. It's not competitive. There's nothing not the way they motivate, where they make sure say like Usman Soli like we say. The current minister, they get scholarship. It gets scholarship because the time we sit in first and salon, where it was. It has scholarship for go out. Because I'm saying they just recorded the advocates right now for the one that we did very well in this exam for go out. Now, so that competition, you know, say if I can't force, even people that went to university, when they can't force, they're very good degrees. Some man gets 1-1, some man gets 2-1, very good. If I say that institution where they give them scholarship, so institution they even offer them jobs. Some of those things not there. You know they see, and because even the one the way they give some of them jobs and the way they can, you have to be either politically connected, probably you parents for being an household name or something of the sort. You understand? I'm not saying that's the apple all the time, but because of those things, then school buses. Look, I mentioned that. I don't mention that several times. Most of these schools, these A schools, and what we get are free tongue, them or other private schools, them. The core subjects where they take you to Form 1, where they take you to SSS1, where you sit back, or where you sit WAS. Those core subjects, math, English, your science, then chemistry, most of them want it in a morning time, they take there. And if I not say picking on them alumni, you don't know Watalo, you don't know all the way Hamilton. For can school 7 o'clock, if you don't know school they start, in order transport, you can't normally. You can for can team up 1 hour for them to camp now normally for go, don't say they go up Albert Academy or they go St. Edwards. You understand? You can for take time where the put the way they come, tell you say now I didn't hold them they stop. Or then they stop in a convent. If I not say that port begin almost in mama they walk, almost or in parents they walk away, you for gam transport and say now 1 way transport you gam. So you can for wait for tell them the peak that rush hour they don't pass. Then one the way they go direct now free always at 10 o'clock then they go. Now not saying that picking go able go school. So if I not say logistics for them, you see also the empathy holding at the wall. People then they wake early morning, you see Combra and they can't park. Now they wait for the school bus for when a bus they can 6 o'clock. Or they wait for you see people that you understand what I mean? They provide the premise, they provide the logistics, they provide the platform. So if I not say picking they go to school, he able for rest, he rest like 10, 15, 20 minutes before normal classes start. Picking go kind of school, you don't late already. So say can you don't go halfway. It's not go easy. Somebody don't introduce or say maths or whatever or account one management account or cost accounting or financial accounting. When you get for a day for gas the principle, the starting things then before you go able for understand the concept. They written at school, the teacher don't halfway through. What you understand? He asks him, Paddy, but let's see what you get. In a copy, no more in the copy. If Paddy self never for explain to him. You understand? So most of those things, now they mitigate against when they go to public, when they go to take public exams, they can't do well. That's when they see rush, less senior. And there's a limited thing this brain can able for comprehend within that short period. You understand? Because the syllabus them for them subjects here, they start from GSS 1 if one for go sit back. They start on GSS. So it's fun that say some picking the one for the tell way they GSS 3. Now they tell something way for don't do GSS 1. Now that's saying they rush for Sabia. Why not me don't Sabi GSS 1? And not Sabi GSS 2. So far that's a rush. So the same thing the same trend back for the one where they go sit was. See the way for don't start. Where the SS1. Way for don't master. You don't understand. Don't say class size or whatever. I don't really know him. You understand now. It goes to SS2, not just for completion of the syllabus. When you go SS3, now revision. Areas the way you know Sabi now for making you able to understand those areas. Now make it fun say the private schools, they always will be doing better than the government schools because they have small size, class sizes, continuous assessment, and everything we miss in the government school. And those things now they be the first in a government school. We parents and they me let mama, Akin one go now school self for go tell me teacher say, oh no account the teacher for allow me for sit down BM. Now we don't sit down before. For the teacher for you, periodically me mama go can school can check waiting at tuning performance. How will they perform? You understand what I mean? Those things are not there anymore. So if I'm not saying they look on other areas, but when you look at the class size, the main problem. How I go give continuous assessment a class of 50. I mean a class of 100 people there. Before I able watch go around and see 20 people done. I mean, I don't tell. I say, okay, in fact, the space for they reach at the back of the classroom, the part for they work and reach at the back. Now, so you go to sweat soup. Now, so the teacher go to the sweat. You understand? So many things. Imagine when I talk about logistics, to 2010, I did do my master's at Fabi College, up on Kennedy Building, Abraham. Chia no this. We got for the countdown, conference, chia the work. Imagine you master students. I did do my master's now. You they go, you AC, they blow you, they feel fine. The salon level, you get for countdown. Imagine how Kennedy Building, countdown the conference chia. They knock in a classroom, they say, excuse me, sir, I just want to take one chair. So when you watch the logistics of our educational system, anything, I don't go down late for class, they take 20 minutes back, they go class to class, defense chair for go sit down. So many things and they were missing our educational system. I'm glad the guy where there is a smart guy. He's one guy with me respect, that guy I got so much respect for. We go reach there, not go be overnight. And the trend where they take, I feel like the right approach, Andy. We know we install everything one day, but you therefore do an audit. You therefore do forensic audit. Where do we went wrong? How can we fix it? And you know, go fix it just like building foundation. You know, they rush normally just zinc. You know, they rush normally just begin plaster. You have to put blocks them. You therefore lay the premise. You therefore make sure say the block they align, they're straight, then waiting because so when you plaster, you know, therefore use more material again because the work from is like total quality management from inception is good. You understand? I feel say we're on the right path. We've been missing out all this. If they can increase schools, increase whatever things, where education will be developed, Abraham. I'm telling you.
All right, thank you very much, Tony.
You're welcome, Abraham.
Yeah. Kariaba say the school are not equipped, not even the basic. Not in the school. Nancy say, thank you, Tony. So you hit the nail on the right head. I see. Judge Kamara say a wise man one time be talk say. Possibly they plan for fly. He get for land for waka, for team up. When he don't team up, he waka. Then he go fly. But you know they fly into fly. There's process. Now that's what I mean. If children they lack the fundamentals at the grassroots, they will struggle mightily at the higher level. No matter what thing we do. That's our Judge Kamara. Yes, caller, you live on here. You name and inside the call from, please.
This now Usman answer the call for Maryland.
Yes, Usman, you get 3 minutes, sir. What's in your contribution?
The problem for school business is plenty. The last caller don't say a whole lot, but one other thing we down box school down they go out for fix. Now the bribe we them picking in the bribe now school and teachers there. I go to I see my nephew. If I see it was. Then 4 letters spelling in Osabi, 4 letters, 3 letters spelling them. Boku in Osabi. When you picking on class 4, they also know that in a pass. How comes how you escape? You go up yonder. The picking and they're afraid. When they go to school, they don't worry about nothing. When them come for any exam, then there you go. And the teachers them back, I not go blame them completely, but before we own days them. The teachers they're not being paid them better, but they all they're not that system, they are not now that system, they can inside school business. And whether a money business where they do that one they ask for fix. I'm not gonna lie tell you because the teachers then they not go say right now, then go will make increase for them way now like 100%. No, even if they do themselves, then go still do. And that makes still the private school and they do very well. The teachers and the money not better, and the teachers and trust me. Now then are the main problem. Then get school picking and they will not sabi spell boku. They not. But how come so? Then a mark no more than they give them. When they say term done, the first term done, they can give them small team, then give them mark. That money exchange, when them pick yourself, then get now. So I would then say they go so in the past and give you under the comeback. This thing I them poil school business na salon. And I think we ask for fix. The come money, trust me, nobody will say no answer. If you then pay teacher 600,000, wait some 10 way months don't serve, they take 2-3 days back before they get on. You get them school picking away get mind. When I go then the church now bribe. Also, I got me girl picking. The one of him party na the area. He thought they up consultant. They can't meet all that time for money. Say yes, then they go give for social subjects. Same thing I need to do na college back. Money business we don't kind say for school business. Not to play problem this. Yeah, this is very, very serious. The last caller, I don't talk plenty, and most of what he say na the right thing. Yes. You don't see school picking they tell you about was you ask them for spell, 4 letters spelling in Boku, you know who spell. And money business we don't come inside. Trust me, triple A, nine, down box square, and then they very, very, very serious something you have for fix. And then no more.
All right, thank you very
Let me
much,
say
Usman.
something.
Thank you, sir. Yeah.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yes, caller, you're live on air. Your name and who the call from, please.
It is now Mike. I call from Philadelphia.
You get 3 minutes, Mike.
Yeah, I just want to say about the school system now, Salon. We school system is very backward. With the pressure the teacher there and the picking them. But if you look at the way we school system, they, look like say we just they teach you picking them for get either office position or get some type of position. We not they teach them for they actually think outside the box. And now the other problem down the back, we just they go classroom, from classroom we give them book for read, then the book, then go now house. We not they extend that education there. There's no system in place, no libraries, no after school program, no computers or internet system, none then are not there. I know this administration then want do something, but then jump into around too quick. Because it's not a problem where they're not going to fix. Because of the way they jump into this problem. This we get for start for begin build up to date school then at that country there. Too much small school then they're all around. And all that small school and they're not equipped with nothing are they there. So now the problem is we as a government or as a Sierra Leonean, we need to start building up to date schools where we're able to sustain the beginning, let them learn better. Now that's what we need to do. All that small school and they help the country. And this administration then jump into around too quick, If we don't start from the basic, then slowly move up. But the way they jump into around with the free education, all my expects then will bring everything for them, and they're not able to fulfill that promise day. So they're going to fulfill. That's the problem. Then they start from the basic again. Let we get libraries and let it begin. Learn a better way. Not this way from classroom. Go back now. They help the country at all. Your contribution. I don't know.
All right, thank you very much, Mike. Yes, caller, you're live on air. Your name and who the call from, please.
Good evening, Chief Minami.
Yes, ma'am. You get 3 minutes.
I call from Lamina, Sierra Leone. Yes, for me, when it comes to this school issue in Sierra Leone, I feel say everybody gets in responsibility for this issue. Divided into 4 sections. 1, the government is responsible, and also I don't go blame them for the free education. For me, it's the right time. Some people are saying it's not the right time, but let's assume say you get 70, 60 or 2,000 picking there, where the people already afford for pay school fees. So you want to tell me say if now you didn't born them picking and they didn't afford for pay school fees, is it fair in 21st century for let them picking and wait say after 10, 15 years where all logistics go down come before they let them miss out? Where according to statistics right now, Sierra Leone get more than 75% of illiterate youths there who don't get education in that country there for over 100 years ago. Let the 21st century get picking where they not educate. For me, I don't feel say na borrow the government to do. They say half a loaf is better than none. You know, I appreciate say even the high school education important until you can make an away for say you know even study for reading rights. I know people that come on in the village when I been just class 6 them in tap, they don't care, they don't even be nurses. So them in Canada they not learn school during the refugees time. They are struggling. So some people let me appreciate say them in get that ABCD. So to me, I not feel say now talk that for say past everything happen. Yes, I will blame the government a little bit because at least something for chairs and everything. When you compare the population of a country and how that country they been don't go so far, government alone cannot do it. Yes, government have 25% for do. Parents also get 25% responsibility. As me they see, parents in Sierra Leone right now they not get interest in education. Whether not to poverty, they make reports in land, but even in America, we don't see some picking and they then come on at the ghettos or then they sleep in a trade. But because they determine, to me, in fact, I feel say the parents and the picking, they get more responsibility for education. If the picking and the study, if them parents then care, you parents, you get money for go bribe teacher 1.5 million for like pass your education. If you can afford that amount, why can't you afford to take that money there? You invest time for friend teacher, or even as you never say for teach you picking for supervisor, or you go to school, you afford for buy a phone for you picking, but you don't afford for follow up within school work. So they get, I blame the teachers then. Yes, then they say they pay teachers then less. Myself, my sister didn't afraid to get private school. But those teachers already claim that they pay them much in a private school. You know, it's not the problem. I wish government would succeed with time for eliminate this two-shift system. Most of them, they teach both sides, and we all know that's really, as long anything they say government, but in school, we get this salon attitude. Once it's government, people don't care. Then they go to the private school, they put all the effort at the private school, then don't still as much as the money small at the public school, but you still not want that money. And secondly, again, the principal then become very, very corrupt without inspectors. What is the job of a principal? I used to teach before I teach 10 years before I in this country. In those days, we principal there, then they made a supervisory. When you see a principal take they shake, if they check on you, they care. But now the principal they not care, and then still they thief. Then they made the register picking there. We not even the government they know. Okay, at least if they thief safe, but at least educate the picking there. And secondly, back again, the picking they study, then give them 4 textbooks. They are surprised when they say for this short COVID time. Look at how many picking and go get pregnant. Is that an excuse because school lucky for go pregnant? Why you not take them 4 textbooks and the way government give you picking there, make you study? And secondly, how them 4% then they pass? I wish government will give all them 4% and they will then pass full scholarship and everything for motivate the others. Some of them come on a very poor, but how come them pass? The private school, they praise 99% of those people going to private school. Their parents are well educated. They're ready for investment. They're picking them. Trust me, those people, they follow up. They teach them, picking them back in school. So they're not going to for say government for wait, say they don't get everything. Can you imagine if you after 10 years, then you get more dropout, you get more illiterate people than Australia? It's an emergency. So to me, the government, they try, they did not in right path, but once Australians, everything we blame government, we blame, and I make nobody to take your responsibility anymore. Parents have the mind to go bribe teachers. But how you know go get that money for buy small radio for you? You get money for buy for a phone. You get money look like if you have face masks waving can for going to school. You see them picking a very expensive uniforms, expensive bags, but they were denying to the face mask just because they want for violate. Then they talk for say, oh, government don't give me face masks. Yeah, so to me, everybody is responsible, and I feel say the president, this is one of the biggest thing we do. Rome was not built in a day. And also not to write now, they pick out in the field, not to do it within these 4 years, then start their education. You just start for prepare for you for your O level from class 1, from the where they put you in a school. So to me, as long as we the citizens them, the board of governors them, the neighbors, the imams, the pastors, everybody is responsible. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Constance Leone.
You're welcome.
Yes, caller, ID live on air. Your name and who call from, please.
This is Ezekiel. I call from Oregon.
You get 3 minutes, sir.
Thank you so much. I think most people don't talk obviously within the concern and within the issues where they go on. I go say the whole thing. Obviously, everybody for play parts, the government, the schools, the parents. But I think overall, accountability, now we problem in that country. Even when it come to law enforcement, it always did it. When it come to enforcing the law, they always the problem they begin. Like with the previous caller been they say. Sometimes I sit down and say, waiting at the responsibility of the principals. Now then schools here. Because the school we are go, anyway, we've been they talk about the parents then, how they know they participate. Well, we for no say almost 70 to 80% of the parents they're literate. They don't even know about what in the Peking they bring come from school. What have been there in a village where they come to school? What do you mean my mama and papa know about book? All they be care about, hey, go be here, let be rest for me. So not to the not me, and they put the blame on them too much because 80% of them they don't know. You know, they don't know what would they talk about here for letting call them, picking them and check them book. What them go see the way they look. You know, you not go see the nothing. You know, so I'm not they blame the parents per se too much because some of them, they obviously way them go able to hold them, picking them accountable. But some they don't know nothing. Which the picking say, na the correct message. You know, are they primary? Why they can now small letter way then they send anything we are able to capture inside that letter, I tell them, and then they believe. So what he then go ask me for account for concerning school work, you know they. So basically now the parents, the government, the schools, now their responsibility then they, when they put free education in place, waiting now be the responsibility for correct things and for the schools and for be responsible for, they go around and get meeting with all the principals and give them some requirements the way they want. No, they're not one. So they rely on the normal and the principals and they're not they even hold and teachers them accountable for anything. Why when they go school, the principal they come now the classes, they check on the school, after school, 4:30, we don't go back now the school for evening studies, 2 hours, complete 2 hours, the place quiet, then they go around up and down for make sure say everybody they inside class, they read, they study or they do assignments. If you not get all these things in place, how you feel say everything will work? So the accountability now the problem. That get for start with the government, the Ministry of Education, which in then plan for do with the principals them, it go run down from there. If you tell the principal, say, if your school mess up again, like how it mess up, you need to meet specific targets for exams. If you not meet that day, you're not supposed to hold this job. If all they think, then they go out there. You feel say then they no go, themselves not go run after the teachers then for make sure say any subject way then they teach half of the picking there. How picking them go sit back. Who's I then get whose assessments they've been given. Whose assessment they've been given where it proves say they qualify for go take that exam. Now me school will be they do that day. 2 months to the exam time, then they give 2 assessments. The first one you not do well, then you get the last chance. Then when you take that exam, you not do well, you know they go. They say no come give bad name to the school. So where are all these systems in place? So government accountability and the schools then. Now they this problem there. So me and my contribution, and if they want to make changes, they all for brace up. Let them not just left handed by government, and government not left and no more by the school, and the schools not for left and no more to parents. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ezekiel. Yes, caller, the live on air. Your name and inside the call from, please.
Yeah, Ibrahim, I call from Maryland.
Yes, Ibrahim, you get 3 minutes, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, brother. The education system in Salon, I've been type one message in the comment section on Facebook. I say some teachers are in the province, I don't know for fatal, because since being at the province, they are common. Some schools and the way teachers they not even pass to us. Then they go allow them for go teach speaking there who they go sit back and was. If you don't go sit the exam and not pass them, then they go allow you for go teach them begin the I go expect and they pass. Then another problem then they would affect back the begin there who they go take the external exams. Me where I've been coming at college, the school where I've been they teach. I know some teachers they not able pass to us, they're not able get nothing, no education for say you get education because before they go teach, you get for do education. Even if you get your masters, if you not do education, you not go able to teach somebody, you go pass external exams. You get for do education. If you don't get your masters or your first degree, you not do education, you get for go do education or diploma. When you get your diploma in education, you go able to teach somebody. Then the beginning back, I support Ezekiel what he say. Some parents and they not sabi nothing. Like me na a testimony now. My parents they not go school. My daddy na Arabic na in land. Me one a trader. So from where they put me in school, say I don't sit me as I go college. My mama, my daddy, not only sabi me teacher. pass no mark out result. I say I pass. So then can people they how they get for ask them picking make them able get account, what then go learn. So but me what I go through, then the school I been they go, then they motivate when at St. Francis, like they just don't do the celebration last week. So when the OCN and they come, any subject from 1 to SS2, any subject where the entire class where you can first part, then they give prize, then they motivate you. So that name they motivate you when they study, when they do competition. But nowadays now, we know they see competition, pass na them private school. Me young picking they go to private school, now 10 years old, it does don't go class 5. But because of what they do well now the school, the principal say, then they go assess them. So if you do well, then they push and let go sit NPSC. And they prove them well. Now they don't push them before. They say they go take NPSC. Why private school and they do well? Like what no more than say, some teacher and they, even if they pay themselves, they add the pay. As long as we get some teacher the way be say, you know, it will pass the exams, then go allow them for go teach. Now government and government assisted school, you know, get for be easy, let it begin the year we do one. The only thing we pray God for, what in the minister they carry with the government, let them able to succeed. Thank you very much, people.
Thank you very much, Ibrahim.
All right.
Yeah. Yes, caller, they're live on here. Your name and the call from, please.
Good evening from you, Sayad, from the Netherlands, Mina Toka Moses.
Yes, Toka, you get 3 minutes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. First of all, I want to tell you thank you for this wonderful program with the Bring Country. Also, I want to tell the company listeners also thanks. This school issue, a good thing actually we don't come up with. Also, the people always don't talk. They don't talk so many points that will make sense. For me, the blame, like how so many speakers don't talk, they put them to the government and the school self. Because, you know, the truth are the truth. Nobody know they we want for punish for get something. If you know say you get something, easy one for lay you benefit. You want to take them. No matter if you're not the most brilliant students at school. If you know say, look the question paper we get for go sit. Look and then also then they you not go say no at the pass they go. No, you must sit on the. So that what I try for say is that the school picking them, they don't so used to the system where the teacher, of course, for take because we will be the go school actually, teacher they not be they take money so no more. You understand? The way teacher they take money will be the primary school, then they get the art and craft, they waiting and call. You understand? Then say make art and craft, make this, make so thing, you know. But it comes to a certain time where people then begin for make pamphlet them, then begin for make they ignore the textbook them even. They ignore them, they make pamphlet and this because people and they will buy this, that, you know. But yeah, after then time then the money business then begin kind of private lesson them, other half them. And as time they go, now so small, the thing they get worse. This BNTM it also gets worse. I tell you AAA, me I get 2 of my family member the way they sit when this was scared. In fact, the other hand don't sit 2 times. I'm telling you, one caller talk say in go tongue, somebody able spell 4 letter one is cities was scared. You know, that's I go agree to that caller. Me, I get them my cousin I want to talk to way because I'm responsible for that. Me they pay. AAA, the other one, he tell me when they call me now, he tell me say this exam will pass. So he send me for send for money for give the teacher, for let the teacher allow them for spy. I say, like, really? He say yes. I say no. You know, so the teacher there, I don't know what thing don't go wrong. If you pay, they need to pay them better or whatsoever, because like all the other callers don't say. First of all, the principal, the school need for think about their integrity. Because any school whatsoever, you get for things say we need for count this kind of result. So that onus rely on the principal, the teachers them, and it come down to the school picking. If the school picking and see I'm going for say this not so easy ride, they all go pay attention. But now the school picking they don't say as an easy ride, they can go no more than pay money, then go through. So this then are the main problem. Me are the call on the school, the headmasters them, Like other callers they don't say, let them go they monitor the teachers them. Let them make sure say them go to classroom, then teach, and the other callers say, make them try for make this thing one shift. That feedback will be very, very good, so that at least the school picking and go understand, say, no, you get for read before you pass. When I talk to them in cousin and they, I'm telling you, when they count the result and tell me, I say, no, the other and even right now we pass it private. Even I don't tell them back, say, I don't still guarantee I say they pass. Wake out the result, he say, the way I study, I say, no, the way me and you they talk, I don't say you're not able. When we see to level, where possible, you don't really know, say, yes, this possible, you don't ready. If you go fail line, you say, oh no, you go able to pass the second time. But, with the pray to God that government able to take care and the school picking them back there for able to understand, because of course, the social media self don't add for the whole team, they make picking and pay attention. But like say, what you they do no more, all for pray to God that we all go for able listen, parents picking them, everybody able listen. The parents can get work actually, but like how the other color they say, some parents and they all in a market and they sell. Some parents and they all defend money for them picking them for Kango school for the next day. So I want can check picking book. So majority they not be they get that time day. So yeah, proper government then at the right track, but we pray to God let everything continue and let God make everything make the best way for we government, we country also go to map straight. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, caller.
Yeah.
Yes, caller, you're live on air. Your name and where you call from, please.
Yeah, this is I had a call from the US.
You get 3 minutes, sir.
So, it's just like when you get your motor car, they say every 3,000 miles you get for change the oil. When you get to 3,000 miles, for you to change the oil, because so when you change the oil, you get for change the filter. You say you use the money for change the oil, you just put 1 liter or just 1 rubber oil, you top up. You not change the filter. If the next 3,000 miles, you do the same thing. After a while, the cargo broke down. People for ask waiting happen to Sierra Leone education. Waiting happen to Sierra Leone education. Sierra Leone is the place where countries in the Commonwealth of West Africa and they can learn book. Some of them don't turn ministers not in country. Waiting happen to Sierra Leone education. When they answer that question, all other things will come into place. We see them in that country there. We see them with poor with education system. With money we forgo to the education system, we take out, we divert them to something else. Sierra Leone education was the best in West Africa. Everybody knows that. Yeah, you know that. You yourself know that. But for me to invest and improve the system, then just sit down, they chop, and then they take every dictionary, put them there. Now we not qualify for teach them, put them there. The time when they go to school, the teachers, the way they teach in schools, then they all man know them. Then guys, then they were dedicated teachers, then those are the ones they will get now. Where they run them schools, then they, because they never pay attention, because one, they are not getting paid properly. So they will sell papers. Then go run behind the school picking them. And the school picking them say that with the other school picking them, they talk, social media don't hold them up. So let them study and then on WhatsApp and Facebook, because they know say at the end they go call teacher and boyfriend. Salon education is just like any other sector. That country, they need serious overhaul. Not to play work, then get another country there. It needs serious overhaul. Every aspect of that country there, every nook and cranny, everything, not to go well. That's my submission, sir.
Thank you very much, Ayo. Yes, caller, you're live on here. Your name and where you call from, please.
Yes, good evening. This is Nancy. They call from US.
You get 3 minutes, Nancy.
Thank you. Yeah, with the callers, they always don't talk. They really say almost everything. Salon education problem, it don't become so worse now. It's like it really broken. The need for stats all over. like from scratch, basically. It really don't broke. Like first thing, when students then fail, now the teachers then fail. And now so it's supposed to be. They see say even the teachers and then they compete. For let them students and then will bring calm, good results them. If they find out say some students and are slow learners, then they create free class. The principal or the headmaster, they make sure of that. For let them will create free class for slow learners. Where we say after school, then they take special lesson for let them be able for catch up. And then they make sure say they done the syllabus. But now, they know they don't the syllabus anymore. Then just they touch and left. Just like we one caller say, most of the upline teachers, then if you go, they not even qualify for teach. Some then na worse than sit, they not even pass, and then go sit again, make attempt again. You just go begin work, begin teach, then they take them. So what you expect for let that person they able for do? You not go able for teach somebody for make you go pass because self not qualify. So if all that they go on, if they find out say the education they go down every day, and even the students them back, they know they take the teachers them serious because for the moment you look at speaking, you ask them, it's like picking they eat they beg them food. You don't lose the respect right there. They look you differently. So the same thing with school business. If students and they come to school, then get high respect for you. The moment you begin ask them for money, you begin ask them out for keep them. You don't done that pick they focus again by book because now say you get bank and this teacher we don't keep it go look out for them. Or this teacher will collect money and then it go with itself. Go hold the study serious anymore. But if you say this teacher they take mess, they take nonsense. If you fail in subject, you consequence there for that. Believe me, then they study. The students they know they compete now anymore because of the teachers them, the way how then they do things. Some they count, but as coach when I get for buy arts and crafts all man count soap. By the time the whole school don't count soap, the class where they teach, you don't go how many cartoon soap 9 us. It's like a business. So it's like they don't use to that now. It hurts for make them pull them unless they begin do supervision. If they get frequent supervision and make sure say the teachers the way they teach, they actually qualify for teach. Then maybe then go make a difference. And then if they make sure say like where this digital thing don't they now, then get for open libraries them like community libraries. So like if you come out school, maybe say library they around your community, you go able go home, change, and then maybe rest, and then you go to a library. You go study, and maybe then for put people the way be say since the students them will not get not all man get computer, but if you computers then they now the libraries and then get people the way they help the students the way they come, so that they go understand how to use computer, and then go monitor them for make sure say where they come now study, then they come for can study, they know they go Google something else and look something else, then now read, then they read. Otherwise, they go lock you out of the computer. Then go able for help them. But if libraries they're not there, and then the schools they're not well equipped, you go there, you're not science students, and then your school not get labs them for let you do your practical. What you go actually sabi? And the teacher to crown it all, if the teacher back not even qualify for teach you, you just they can go to better, and then what you go take away? Nothing. At the end of the day, they go home, come school empty-headed, go back, go na college empty-headed because you get for pay your way through college back, and then you can't come back empty-headed. What you go can't do na the society? Nothing. You will just come back and continue for take bribes or give bribes for in exchange. All that day, if they begin for encourage the teachers them and the principals them for let them do their job, and then the government for make sure say when schools then don't say the number will be they take it don't enough, because schools then get standard. Then they tell you say they take like the animal memorial school, and they take 300 and above. Anybody score below that, they know they take you. Then they send you to other school where they take 200 and above. So all the schools they then get their own standard, way that they take. But they find out some of them, some people they were connected and some people they will be say the government can interfere, can say, okay, even though they say this school you don't full, you not get for take anymore, then they force them for take more students then. So when they force the school for take more students them and they not get enough space for keep them students there, then they get for do 2 shifts. Because you not go able to take more than 100 students in one class. You get for go 2 shifts. And if you go 2 shifts, guess what? The first one in the morning, maybe then go be okay. But the one in the way they come, the entire, so man do waiting them. Better learn this. So if they're able to build more schools or create more space and do 1 shift, it will better for Salone. So me not that the number I get for today because most the callers and don't say most of what I want for say. I no go on for repeating myself again. All right, thank you.
Thank you very much, Nancy.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, caller ID live on air. Your name and who side call from, please.
Are you AAA? Nami?
Yes, sir. You get 3 minutes.
After AAA, I'm not going to utilize that 3 minutes. Always to me is education on people in our country. Well, not just rely on the government, they ain't able to solve that problem. Me, I will blame all parties. It be the government, it be the parents, it be the teachers. For who they go school, we all know
who they go give most blame?
Now the students, AAA.
So who's the principal and the school and the?
AAA, I mean, the reason they make I blame the students. For not somebody who give that school say, spy, this is what we get for him, say this is something good for you. And to be honest with you, the external exam, people they don't take them for be like a culture. We all see the very first year we then bring this free education camp, we then try for mount some security. They became go on the rampage. The demonstration made them take them free education, made they allow them for start. Of course, the teachers and for movies especially go school, we all know say teaching job. I mean, not to be good paid job. Nobody never wish for being teacher. So that idea saying the condition of service for the teachers are not good. It has been like that. But the thing is, like when you watch the Ministry of Education, true actually, it's like we're not getting inspector of schools and again. So schools and jobs they go about, they do them stuff, how they want it. And the other thing again, I'm not doing anything a day. Like schools that they organize, them PTA meetings then, where parents and go, it's like them with the teachers then, they meet, express themselves. I mean, come out with problems then, it's like they elaborate on them, they see it, then see. They're trying to sort out, the way forward, but I don't feel anything about it. So, but, the politics that we can say, it don't take over even the atmosphere. We imagine, say, this massive failure will occur. People then they take to provoke the current regime. And if they can watch, not for these 2 years and they didn't go school. Then they don't make foundation how many years back, when they say not to this regime, they in governance. So it's like a shame to the country, not to just this regime. The education on poor, not 6 democratic teachers, and we will need all hands on deck. That's a million contribution. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Kuruma.
Oh, AAA.
Yes, sir. You get 3 minutes, sir.
Hey, Park. Thank you very much for taking my call. This now, Omar. You get me?
Loud and clear, sir.
Oh, okay. AAA, just like what in the last caller say, this is in between the parents, the school, the government, and the teacher. But may I give the blame more to the students and the teacher. We continue. Let me tell you, AAA. The effort where the Croman government do, and the effort to this government they do, and the effort to Shaka Stephen we do, I'm not seeing that much of a big difference. The only difference back then, the science class and we get some Bama lab them where you go see, you know how to turn kerosene to petrol. You go mix some stuff like snap, they, put the bill in the fire. Or we go school, we'll be even Muslim Congress, we'll be even get garden. Or they take agriculture, they go lay them, heap them. With they plant cocoa, and then they give them big word them. The agriculture word them. But now they're not getting anything in it. And two, the technology where they now, this generation for take advantage over them. They get phones, they can able to do a lot of stuff. We not be get technology like then and day. Cell phone not been this have, let alone internet. The internet in us alone. People and they put their foot in the water, they study all net. People and they study where you see face in the morning. We'll be getting the lap in the day. Whether smoke they go up, when see somebody gonna, you see your classmate in the morning, he knows inside all the smoke really. Because it determined, he wants something out of education. Look this generation, go on Facebook. 90% now we get picking them. They go on Facebook, then they look for man them. They get all kind way, One call me today, because I get a Facebook friend. They go tell me, say, in Jalabo, I help him. He say $150 in Papa don't die, Mama don't die. He want for pay for your exam. I send him jam. He not gonna believe in all it 1 week. He call me back for another paper, something else. No, I said, listen, not to me born you. You racket. There's no other than a racket business. I mean, the teacher them, just like what Tina said, then they are not a teacher them. Back then, I can tell you for free. Every teacher will teach the school. Either he go MMTC, he go Injala, or he go now one other college will be in a Fove Road. If that's what you said them, they call them. He be in a Fove Road by Bishop Johnson. Yeah, one other one be there. But if you get common no more na high school or 6 level, you go to now they go teach people. You don't go teach the people the same thing will say come out. High level, what maybe you don't even pass self. Then you want to teach them people and they forgot take that same exam day where you fail. Now they get now. You see the female teacher, then they have business, then they go, then they sell akara, then they sell this, and then they put, we call the picking. If you tell your mama, if you don't give money for buy this akara, and they tell you for this class. The principal assessor the do now business. And the government, my own problem is, matter be like that time here, now before don't kick this thing. If you don't program this thing, begin from the time where you announce it, they do them, then you talk, say, the problems and what lies ahead, there's so much. Then if na school and they begin to build the school, they begin to build curriculum, things and what even no say, they not be there because you know everything. Because I like to say, education emergency, that means you know say education not been good. So why can't jump on right away? A jump on just like what people in the fed for run na poto they swim. We don't able to do anything because up to now we still get the kingdom where they take exam na ground. Up to now we get the kingdom where Okada driver then they give a just for give a ride for move from one side to another for go sit down a classroom. Up to now we they get teacher that when they talk say they not pay them. Now all them teacher them if they don't sit down they take 1 year or 2 years. They make sure say they do a complete research and solve all them problem here. If they kickstart this thing like this year now. Like slow state because they don't see everything, but they say, okay, if we so go do that, to not go as to the government to go and fix. Well, now year number 3 this. Year number 3, we still not say now we get classroom that we're broken. We see our social media, even we own program. We see schools them whether they show me window no day, lights no day. We see school them whether they show me where it's not even conducive for human being. If people like whether they put goats there, whether they show it, they put on social media. We see the minister, they work inside photo. If nothing anywhere with them, we don't sit on that, the mago, because the one can show. The before don't sit on, take at least a whole year or 2 and look at all the issue here. Because they don't spend money for this thing. And it's still, like say, we need to see the end of the light, of the tunnel. It's sad, but we picking them. We picking them get for serious. Because we picking them, then let that. Just like what the other caller say. Where this government, and in fact, this government do much better than an Edvard government. Because this government begin to go after the teacher them. You see what will be happen. When they pick them come on though, they say they don't want the free education. If they're not allowed, they let them spy. They go here fed na that Muslim Brotherhood school where they contribute money so for renovate. That didn't go big fed. They fed all kinds of because they're not allowed them for let them spy. Can you believe that? That's not the students then. You get glad for spy. Then when you don't spy like don't come on a for college camp, you know even study spell you name. When they see them all, look go on Facebook, let's see how they communicate. Go to text them, let them text you back, let's see them what they write. So we picking them not serious. I'm not saying we all want the social media, but this social media, it don't cause trouble in Africa. Because they don't know even how to use social media in Africa. When they see how people that use social media now, the boy wake up with WhatsApp, wake up with Facebook. Now college dropout. Zuckerberg now a billionaire. When you see how people that use social media now for do business, then see they on the parade business. We people don't for put blame on them more. Now that no more, my brother. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Omar. Thank you, sir. Yes, caller, ID live on air. Your name and say the call from, please.
Yeah, Triple. And this is not me. I call from Fago, Momo.
You get 3 minutes.
Thank you, sir. The school system, the government, the one way they succeed on now for make them free. That we all don't know. And the other way they get for stop for talk, the equality we then put on top of we know they it. Because if you then said they boast on quality, then said they help, then they deceive the people, because the quality no they. And there is a lot of things we then get for the way what they need now money get for make then succeed, do all them things and they. And for presently, the money not there. So all the tears we will talk all the end of it now money. And because the side we then get for pay attention is now the teachers and the headmasters and the principals. Because it then need for put things in place, system in place wherein the teachers could be comfortable, the teachers could know say yes, the government don't meet with demands, the government then agree all what you need for teach, all day in place. So if the government don't provide all what the teachers they need, the principal, the headmaster they need for a school for teach the picking or go make them succeed. Now, there the government now will get the responsibility now, the advantage for go after them teacher also, for go after them principal also, and the headmasters they for make sure that then deliver. Because one, governments don't reach their own side for make sure so they're able to go ahead and teach them PKR. It gets me. Other girls school, now the principal and headmaster, because now the principal and the headmaster they between the teachers, the government, the picking and the parents them. Now I make them the day as principal and headmaster. But today we don't see schools there where the principal and the headmaster, they don't even get time. Like with someone with the go school small, the primary school. If you then at school, they do poorly. You teacher the only physical na host. So your parents they can't complain. So now something like that they happen now. So now America, Western world come to them. If you picking they do bad in school, they need to do better. Now it can make them they call them parents meeting them every quarter. For let the parents can know how in picking they do. So the government therefore puts effort, money for letting things happen. It gets me. Because then get for make sure then go over the schools them for checks then they do what's in there for do. But make sure them put all the system also so every 6 months or every certain time, the principal for set up a system wherein the teacher them, he get for call parents in our school for picking what they do well, get a meeting with them parents also for tell them say how them picking they do. If this thing don't they, if the picking don't know say me teacher, the principal, they communicate with me parents them for how they do. Trust me, that picking that student, go to lie, but for the bright, a principal or a teacher. But again, as we say, now money, all this thing, the government not get that money. All what they do so on are just a way for probably for election back for next year, so we don't do this, but then get a lot to then get for the money, not for that. Yeah. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Momo.
Yeah.
And so for don't get us a German problem. You get 3 minutes. Sir.
All right. People, first of all, I tell you thank you for giving me this opportunity, and I tell everybody thank you. The other don't contribute. For me, my own side, without the blame, I blame first of all the Minister of Education. First of all, when we were go to school during the 80s, I mean, because I was a science student. I mean, if you go to chemistry lab, if you go to physics lab, there is nothing. And most of them drop out when they come to school. Now, most of them guys they will do science. What they call it, they say a science student. There is nothing in the lab. So the past Minister of Education, he get 100% blame, because if you don't renovate the school, you put the equipment away for them at the school. When you come at the school, when you see everything there for land, I'm telling you, the beginning go put more effort for land. But you go to school for go do, even if they do woodwork, you go serve at the woodwork workshop. The materials, the equipment that they work with, all long well. Nobody know the maker. How if you say the beginning will go study for land and pass that subject? Physics. Before they pass physics, if you know how to do them, mixture them. Who say they go do them? Not in at school for go do them. How you expect that person for like pass that subject? How you expect that for like pass? So me, the Minister of Education, we been there, the past one and all, I blame them for them picking them failure. They don't fail the picking them. Then I know say everybody they talk about study, no study. How you go study? You don't have the equipment there. You don't have a library who say they go get more research. Let you know what they do. Yeah, I know we compare here and back there, but at least therefore don't open a library where if you Alexa that small library, then give people at least an hour, 2 hours. You know, people who go there don't go do research. They do the education. But the education system, who said it working, I don't blame the parents in the house. Like I say, I put 100% on the Minister of Education. Now, if I don't upgrade the school year, he put everything where school forgets. But the only people in YC, they spark so right then after now they do commerce, then commercial students there. Because they get for go work at the bank, they get for go. Now make when they get them problem right now when they put people in that's on side where they not even qualify for. They put people in society which they don't even qualify for, because possible don't do about that science, per science, you go put on the other side, he don't even know his job. He doing job. So the picking there, you understand, if you get better equipment, they get a sustainable place outside the school, they get everything. I'm telling you, them picker them will learn. But without all the things, without proper facility, we say them picker they study. We say they get more information about the school, or they get all the things what I mentioned so before. They get in the school, they go able to learn. So thank you very much. I don't know more. I get.
Thank you very much, Alhaji. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Yeah. We don't deal with this a lot of times now. Yeah? We get the opportunity to we fumble in a salon, so go here from the inside. And within the inside, the last woman we talk, it touched a lot of areas them. Me want for touch the area where I think say na day we dey miss right now as a country. One thing I want to make clear when we are talking about the school system, mostly it has to do with government school. If you check all the results the way they come out now, the private schools then they do extremely well. People then go and say, oh, now because then they pay them good. That one day I go give 20% for that. But you know what in do? Now because private schools then get ownership and integrity. The private schools then is owned by maybe an individual or a group of individuals then, and they no say as the name thrive, now so then go get good money. Now so then go get people them want for go na then school. Now so then go set boku high standard where they no say people the way they come they get for abide. That's for the private school. The government school, whose responsibility it is? na the government, but the government get an employee. And this employee, we they in charge of them schools here, now the headmasters them, or we go say the principals. The principals they pick in team them when are the teachers them. Some of we not been lucky for go private school. Some of we na government school we go. But because of the system we be there back then, we not there now. Now I make we dey talk about waiting we dey talk so now. Before, the teachers them and the principals them and the head teachers them be get ownership of the schools. We that one day na in no day now. That one day no day. I went to a government school. Even if you meet up your teacher after school, you know the inside your school uniform. You meet up and on a street after school. That's sidom way una all two yai make for. I like not call you say, come na ya, usa you they go, usa you come out. Not to your parent, I'm talking about the teacher-student relationship. That's what I'm talking about here. Just that yai way make for. Trust me, when I go to school the next day, you get something for answer. The headmasters them or the principals them, they own the school because waiting do then the schools them all they try forget their names them. Waiting the private school, then they do right now. Now in the government school and self be they do trade. We be say then set them standard. Waiting do because they want the creme de la creme, the best students them na them for Canadian school because they want for make them school timapianda. Now make you find out say even back in the days you get schools them way being overcrowded, even with having overcrowded classrooms them be still they do good. Because waiting do the teachers them, the headmasters them, they all be get ownership of the school. Then one day, now I think say we lack right now na salon. We come out there. We come now to community. Decide they had to reach areas them. The one them way not the na the center. The center, the one the way not there na the center. We come there. Then one then they back, you go find out say you get somebody with tap class 7, somebody we just in feel say he able for teach, then come together, then get community, then say, oh, let we come together, let we do this, let we make school for them picking so that they not go left so. How far the government don't go for take ownership of schools them way na government schools them na the country. It's just about distributing money. Or when it comes to waiting they need, you say, okay, we need 50,000. Government say, okay, I'm not getting 30,000 I get. We hear this last budget. Government said they're ready for pump up to 1 trillion leons per education for make it go reach who side they want and for reach. Is it all about just putting money? Ustem, the Ministry of Education, don't call certain headmasters them, certain principals them for call and say, una can't answer we. Waiting happen, waiting not happen. Let we take this year, for example, with all the bad results that we come out. Waiting with the hear from the Minister of Education. He in they try for cast the blame and parents them. As far as AAA is concerned, now yeah, I give 80% of all the problem we I feel see the inside to the principals, the school administration, na they agree. Picking them, then they afraid them parents them. Make we just get that understanding. We see a lot of time things that we can go viral on social media. You they picking and they say, hey, no, I don't make me people and see them, even though then they do the wrong. They don't want to make them people them see them because what you do, then they afraid them people them, then get respect for them people. They then get this level of waiting. If you go wrong, they no say they get problem na us. So waiting at the relationship between the school and the parents them. that relationship they na ain't cut off. Yes, I can understand. A lot of we parents them, then in a market they sell. A lot of we parents and are business people them. A lot of we parents then times are hard. The least way they get now for begin say then they run at a picking. Waiting they know is then they run for pay the picking in school fee, for make sure say the picking go school, where you go there, the teachers them, the principals them, they go take good care of the picking them, and if anything, they report to the parents and the parent them go handle their own part, then the school take care of their own part. But for this way, we just they say, oh, now the parents and now the parents and now the parents them. When we were going to school, the school then gets their own place where then they play now with life. Where right now the schools then where they are, they talk about government schools, the schools then where they not they play them parts then they and then students then life. Now I make the student and just feel say when you go to school, when you don't nine that. Nine that. How much of these teachers then really like the job? A lot of times when they can talk now and say, oh, now the money, then they pay them well. The politicians, they thief in a salon. Are they not being paid well? People their needs and people their wants can never be satisfied. We all want, we all need, but it can never be satisfied. It can never be satisfied. So if whenever we call they say, oh, the teacher then they give them this na make. The teacher then they do that then I make. Then teacher ya na so them for don't do am na make. The school system be don't ever better. No. But we will still be the produce good results them. We still be the produce where they talk about if it be don't ever better, they talk about logistically for the teachers them. Teacher, they go school, they provoke them. Say, look in Bensu, since don't link, this and that. They get one shot, they watch and pass almost them. But at that time, they love the job, then be still they go there. Not to rain, then they go with. Now, yeah, we don't play an audio where a teacher, they say, look in compare, they all go school, and politician, look and they drive big motoka, but look in yonder. So we, the students, have to suffer for that. Like I said, when you go now, they have to reach areas, then they say, now they themselves come together and make school for themselves. So what is the government doing in those areas? What thing then they do? Why make we get so many schools in Sierra Leone where government go tell you say, oh no, we're not certified the school yet. These are not government certified school. We not go give them paper, we not go give them, we not go approve. These are not government approved school. We not go approve them. We not go this, we not go that, we not go this, we not go that. But why are they still existing if they don't meet government criteria? So if they don't meet government criteria, then still they exist. Why? Why therefore exist when they don't meet government criteria? Oh no, government's not go able for block them. You not go able for block them. Why? Why? That's why sometimes it's good make we just look at an entire system and just forget about politics first. Make we just look on that way. The same government, the same principles where then are the employee of the government for take care of their school and they go get teachers them, now they in school them where they no say they not get PIN code. Because the only way you get PIN code, now you they able for get money from government. So government self they use free labor na the country. Then they use free labor. And anything where na free labor, that person he get for paying transport up and down, they come up and down in hopes. In hopes for say one day, then go give me PIN code. But you they use this person definitely it go find way for making self get money. It go find way for make it get money. So that one day, government self get for open eye on that. Then get for open the eye. If not, now this we go to see. How in Sierra Leone? Now one green person then go can be there before you know it, all man come. Now the streets, now one green person go begin sell a check. Give them 6 months. The entire street, every host go they sell a check. That's not the country for we. Eh? That's not the country for we. What do I mean by that? Even when they come up, then they make a small way for us for sell things in school. But skirt, pancake, this and that, then they make a small. Eh? When you go to the higher level, to the head teacher and principal side, then they ask say, each picking for cow broom. Eh? Each picking for cow toilet roll. Each picking for cow. That's so they begin as small. These are the government school. Imagine a school of how many hundreds of students. That first day or that first 1 week. Then they say make all man cow broom. How many broom then go gather? Eh? How many? How many then go gather? Or toilet roll, or chalk, or this, or that. That's so they begin and small. Then graduate now to pamphlets. From pamphlet, then graduate to after school classes. From after school classes, then graduate to camping. From camping, when like that, now they the case closed. Now they will not reach so. And from then till then, the government never took ownership. When I'm talking about the government, I'm not talking about this administration. I'm talking about the government where they hire the principals them for schools them. I'm talking about from the time where this thing don't well. Now that one that they talk about. Eh? So because teacher na class 5, she say, bon, class 4, that teacher, they make money with all the students. They call it guy grown soup. They all they buy. It don't make quick one. Class 5 self don't begin sell. Before Imara, class 6 don't begin sell. All man don't begin sell. Eh? Before you know it, then say after school class. After school class, we'll line that too. Because Sierra Leone, we sabi for falamakata and we sabi for misuse stuff. But how do we fix this now? We all know the problem. But how do we fix it? As far as AAA is concerned, we need for fix them now the school and the government. Now they work. And this thing where people and they say the internet, no. There are two things here. You get social media and you get the use of internet. You can use the internet without being on social media. Eh? Because some people, my dear, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, WhatsApp, they want to a social media. Yes, now part of internet because you get internet for use them. For go on Google and use the service then we able for make you learn more. Go on YouTube for watch videos them where they teach you how for do certain things them, where they teach you on certain subject them. It's all there. But the same YouTube where you go, where go teach you how for do different things. Them now the same YouTube where you go, where you go look music video. So now there come with determination. For say when I go YouTube, if I go there for go learn so and so, now dande I they go there for. Now here they go there for. Everything you want to be in life, you should be determined. And that's now one thing where I feel say the students them lack. Nowadays, we students then at Sierra Leone, we young one then at Sierra Leone, they don't want to think. They don't want for use their own IQ. They don't want to do it. Because you go salon now, you have conversation you're going to have with them. We not get for do anything with school. They're going to be good at it. They're going to be good at it. But anything we get for do with something for their future, how many of them? There's a video. I think I'll try for play that video one of them this year. You get Al Hassan, a guy way at a follow on YouTube. He went to Sierra Leone. They go now all the 54 African countries. Them they ask them, "Waiting na you dream?" Just that question. Waiting na you dream? He reach na salon. Even for express we safe. The picking the way then they ask. The big one they say food then they ask, "Waiting na you dream?" Even for express we safe waiting na we dream. Unless we demand they say, what you want for being in the future. We don't even, so we are not even dreaming anymore. We're not even dreaming. Because when we all they come up, we be the dream. We be the dream. I want for do this, I want for be like this. Are there no mentors anymore? You know they again? Annual Education Week. Education transformation through evidence-based policy. Which evidence are we talking about? And innovation. Which innovation are we talking about here? We have to build our school system. And we get to start from the infrastructure. The infrastructure has to be there. If not, and so we go to go no more. Government go to pour this money. The last time they say at 23% or 21% of the annual budget, then they put there. Now they don't come out say not to done again. Now 1 trillion they want put. Who say all this money they go? Waiting they don't. There's a lot of work to do. There is a lot of work to do. And like I said, I stand for be corrected, but in my own opinion, for say, me, I blame the school system, and the school system fall under the government because the government, now them get the schools them. As I say, come this particular term, the ministry says they say on WAEC they marking grade this and that. Who don't call WAEC say WAEC come back and explain to we. We cannot we cannot just say everything will just fall in place like that. No. Principal for no say he's hired. If he not deliver, he should be fired. If he be fired. Headmaster for no say they hire him. If he not deliver, there should be a system in place where them people there go be answerable. Them go be answerable. If not, na so no more we go day. Na so no more. If we just think say they're not gonna be answerable, and we just gonna leave it like free flow, just like this, say let the government they put money, let they put money, it's not gonna work. It not the work. That's when the person gonna say, where you get to go answer to the ministry. If you not go there, well, you know say you work done. You work done. But just want to say, now the beginning, oh yes, they know the dream, they know the think, they know understand. But somebody with the picking them, they not us. The mama them, then they do their own part. The parents then they do their own part. For CC, then send them go school Ula for take care of them, and the teachers them. Now then for impact and make good citizens out of them, picking when is well grounded in school, where it can also it is able for even pass that energy there to in people in our house. It is able. How many of we not get picking the naya? We then go school, we then come. You don't know what's happening at school. The conversation is there. If they don't want to talk, you go ask them, how was school today? What happened? This and that. Then go get that conversation there. But we get some of we parents name. I say, hey, go put you back down and about take that kid to make you go get water first. Hey, take that thing neighbor can go first. Go na neighbor and I can go do it first. So the school safe not to. But trust me, if the school, the teacher in school don't do your work proper one, what the picking kind of us? What the mama they say, put that in there, the time say mama, by so and so time I get for studio, I get for do this because me teacher if I go to man at school, this and that. Picking not they go so far at school for mama. Picking not they go so far at school for mama. If they tell mama now say mama, teacher, well go with me. Go with me. Unless now if na them in Pekin, well it's on another level. Because some of them people they go take people picking them for men, they don't even care. They don't care. So I like that Pekin go talk. And that thing they see two once they start. No go school because they're afraid for waiting they go meet in a school. But there should be school and parent relationship. And we not get them. School and parent relationship. Now only at that, the Pekin and self gonna say there is a coordination between the school. So if you can talk say na so and so na school. Okay, then go find out. Because then get that coordination. Then get a coordination. So me, I see Janet we say in call. But this you call Janet where you call me not be Siam. Or in not reach Obaya. But to make we just bring you come in and see waiting. You say you be called, but I not be see the call, but you get the platformer. Waiting you get for we.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, I'm really happy for being at the platform today, especially this education program we maybe don't do before. I mean, elsewhere, I don't listen to all the different explanations there about the failure and other the ones shift the blame to. And AAA, you're quite right about government wanting to shift this failure to the parents them. But in actual fact, the education of them picking lies with the government, the schools. We talk about I like what Uswemi they explain about the evidence-based practices and evidence-based strategies. You just like when you put pots in a fire. You want cook cassava leaf. You put all the ingredients in that pot there. You put on a fire. You put them on the stove or whatever. If fire not there under, it's not gonna cook. Period. That analogy that I'm gonna look at properly. So the school, the materials then we didn't get for teaching them picking a. If they not teach them picking, they not use skills, then the teacher they not get skill for teaching them picking a. You not care whether you teach from January to December. When it comes to assessment, because that way you know whether the picking don't learn or not. When you come on periodic assessment, like we say every week, then get assessment at the school, end of term, then get assessment, and then end of year, then get assessment when they take promote them from one class to the other. You find out that they perform poorly. So you go begin ask yourself, what is wrong? What's it make them pick and they learn? So let's go to the delivery. The teacher where they teach, and which I don't understand why they do that teaching this education program. A lot of research was done, which you don't begin to understand. And AAA, you touch base on them. Teachers then they not they give pin code. Teachers then they give pin code, they are not qualified. You find out say like where somebody saying that the Ibrahim Koma say some teacher self or student themselves we don't done school graduate say some man not be right safe. But you don't blame them. You blame the institutions then where they be where them pick here don't study from. So we go back and look at different countries the model, because I know say they get universal learning system within the ECOWAS or inside Africa. I'm not sure, but I did read something some side. Let's go to Ghana. Let's go look at Nigeria. and say, what to make, then they do so well. Because I mean, these things are possible. Instead of, we country don't used to be one place where we all go school and salon, you know. When we come on and also mama and papa don't say right A or B. But guess what? Those parents, you know, then they go to the school, then they go look at the teacher, go talk to the teacher, me picking they do well. What's happen? You know, you just say the teacher me picking. These are the kind of questions the parents that they ask the teacher there. So the teacher they pull you by yes. If you not learn ways, you know, if papa can ask me, I know what I go do you. You know, so we are talking about commitment. We talk about fidelity in teaching. You know, I come across this word today and I say, what? Yes, commitment. You faithful to that job day. You like your job. And you want to make sure, say, picking there, pass. You know, somebody tell me something the other day. Say, listen, the grades where the picking there they get in a salon, not reflect what they learn in themselves as a person in terms of performance. I say, what you mean? It's so simple. They give them these grades, they move them on. When they come at the real world, you know, Vicky Remo make one comment a video one day where he say it takes some people and for go work with them. Waiting in see and that frighten them. So what does that mean? The assessments them and performance, they're not tally. There's something wrong. Let's go back to the table. You know, AAA, I don't hear a whole lot of stuff about the use of the internet. Listen, some of we don't come out school 19 Jubilee. If we didn't have the internet, we will suffer. I go on the internet every day for go look at write-ups of other people. You know, they read different subject material there, whether on if you're on Facebook, you learn a lot of stuff. You know, but what we're saying is the schools them. Like we're saying, they talk about internet at every school and stuff like that. I feel safe then guide the picking them use properly. You know, I just say they're gonna go progress. Look like a Rwanda. They're not get private schools again. Triple A, you'd be surprised. They're not get private school again, oh. And even Ghana self now, private schools are struggling because they don't so make the school system in such a way that private schools are dying out. So what's missing a salon? Let's go to other countries. People go look at the model and come back and enhance learning through the resources them where the schools they need. You know, person they go school, you not get chair for sit down. You tell me. Someone said something about toilet facility poor. Picking and they eat properly in their homes them. You know, there's so much we're lacking, we go wrong now with system. But I think to say for me, David Senger is doing a great job. I no go knock him. Really, I no go say, well, he's not he's just been there. He's traveling from one school to the other for make sure say, you know, them picky they get within in need. So I want to say thank you. Thank you so very much for having me tonight. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Janet. Well, we don't come to the end of today. What thing we want now the government of Sierra Leone for take ownership. They are spending the money. That's true. But there is a disconnect between the government, where now they hire them principal, the school system, and the teachers them and the parents them. I think now we need for join them together. That's outside that disconnect there. Because the infrastructure for the schools then for thrive should be there. There is no ownership. Ownership and integrity don't lose. When are in the private school, then they thrive on right now. And then they thrive on, and then they make them. When you check, not to say the difference when they pay in a private school is that much as compared to waiting then they pay in a government school. No, it's not that much. But again, government back they use free labor. For the one they will not get pin code where they teach. So you look inside it. But because the private school, they own their school, they get the integrity for their school. Where on the government side, everything government in Sierra Leone, and that's no more now. We have to fix that. Yeah? We get for fix them. And so go left today on. Go there back tomorrow. Okay. Till we meet again tomorrow. Tiki policy. Tata.